Hello, and welcome to another episode of Brettcast Gaming Talk. It's no secret that I love the LEGO video games just as much as I do actual LEGO sets. I recently played the first LEGO Batman video game, and followed that up by playing LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes. I have yet to play the third LEGO Batman game, but I will once it goes on sale because I'm not paying $20 for that. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to compare and contrast LEGO Batman to LEGO Batman 2. The first LEGO Batman game was released in the heyday of classic LEGO games like LEGO Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures, and LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. This means that any kind of dialogue is just grunts, groans, and laughter, and this also means that the game is a lot more linear with only short cutscenes separating the levels. The game is divided into 6 chapters between the hero missions and villain missions. In the 3 chapters of the hero missions, you have villains that are basically end bosses of each chapter, while you have lesser villains as boss fights in each of the levels. So you'll go through a level, fight Mr. Freeze, go through, and then once you get to the end of the chapter, you fight Joker and Harley Quinn, so on and so forth. They try to make the boss fights unique, and it's really hit and miss. On the other hand, the villain missions kind of just feel like, setting up what the villain has you do when you're in the hero mission. Like the Penguin one where you have to, in the hero mission, you're destroying these generator things, but in the villain mission you're building these generators and getting everything set up. You get a total of 30 missions, and I just love that you can just go mission to mission with only a cutscene in between levels. The game doesn't have that many characters or suits for Batman and Robin, and I kind of like that. It's a simple game. It's not too short, and it's not too long, and it moves from level to level at a great pace. It's just a lot of fun. LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes released in 2012, which is the year that one of my personal favorite LEGO games released, which is LEGO Lord of the Rings. This was a big deal for TT Games because LEGO Batman 2 is the first LEGO game with actual dialogue in it, and I really think they went too far in some areas. Case in point is the first cutscene of the first level when Joker comes into the scene, and he talks forever, and his dialogue is awful, and it's like whoever wrote the lines for the Joker just didn't know when to quit. This game is also one of the first open world LEGO games because, everything has to be an open world game. Now, being an open world game isn't bad, but what I don't like as much in LEGO Batman 2 is that everything is just longer. The levels themselves are much longer because they will often interrupt gameplay to have one or sometimes multiple cutscenes, and it is kind of annoying. Add to that you also have to deal with the open world in between levels, which means you're either walking or more often than not driving or flying to the next level. And sometimes it can take some time. Another thing I find weird about LEGO Batman 2 is that while in name it's LEGO Batman and also DC Superheroes, and while playing through the story mode, it is mostly Batman and Robin with Superman for the majority of the game. Other heroes like Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Cyborg don't enter the story until the last 3 levels or so of the game. So I really don't think it should be titled LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes, but rather something like LEGO Batman and the DC Superheroes, as they really are not that important or integral to the story until much later on. I think it's pretty easy to see when comparing these 2 games that I do prefer LEGO Batman over its sequel, and that is true. It's not like I hate LEGO Batman 2 or any of the newer LEGO games for that matter. They just shifted focus of the LEGO games to having to be open world with as many long, drawn out, and not skippable cutscenes as they can fit into one game. That's all I have to say, so if you want to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.